Well, here we are, everyone. We are living in an absolutely clown world. Um, things are not looking great for the Jon Jones Tom Aspinall fight. Honestly, Jon Jones is starting to look very much like Conor McGregor. A lot of people are starting to doubt if we're ever going to see Jon Jones again, especially after he came out and tweeted this yesterday. I don't know if I want to call it retired. I feel like I always have the ability to pop out and show him. I've had many breaks throughout my career, mostly because of your cocaine and domestic violence issues. But my identity outside of fighting is well intact. That's good to hear. It's good to hear. I'm genuinely enjoying life. I'm growing in different ways. Listen, not hating. If that's what you want to do, then vacate your fucking belt and let the division move on. Right now, Jon Jones is causing one of the worst bottlenecks the heavyweight division has ever seen. And the heavyweight division is in a bad spot anyways. I mean, really bad. There are no more big names in the heavyweight division. None. Other than Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gahn dropped off. No one gives a fuck about him anymore. Volkov probably going to retire soon. He's 37, right? How old is this motherfucker? Does it not say how old he is on here? Either way, he's been in the game a long time. Probably going to see him retire in the next year or so. Another one, not a big name. Curtis Blade's been hanging in the top 10 for the last few years, but can't seem to get the big ones when they count. Lost two to Tom Aspinall. So he's, Jailton Almeida, not necessarily a big name. Sergey Spivak, no one gives a fuck about him. Marcin Tybura, Derek Lewis on the out as well, or at least inconsistent. I mean, Derek Lewis is a one trick pony. I love watching him. He's always going to be an entertaining fight, but everyone knows that all you got to look out for is his overhand right, which is crazy because he still catches guys with it when they know that that's the only thing they need to look out for. It's wild. Tai Tuivasa, who's like 600 pounds right now. I don't know when the next time we're going to see him fight. And then Martin Buday. Like, who the fuck are these guys? Like this is the worst state the heavyweight division has been in a really, really, really long time. Bunch of no names. The top five, they've pretty much all been beaten by Tom Aspinall. They've fought each other. It's very similar to how big of a shit show the lightweight division is. The lightweight division has a lot of skill, and the depth in the lightweight division is awesome. It's just the top five, top 10 is kind of bottlenecked right now. Whereas the heavyweight division is bottlenecked, and there's no one in the top 15 that's worth a shit. It's abysmal. It's the number one promotion in the world, and the heavyweight division is just, it's a disgrace. And then you got this fucking clown that I don't know if he thinks like he's being funny or that he's trolling the MMA community. I don't know what he's trying to prove here, but people are really starting to. Two things are happening. People are losing interest in the Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones fight because we're not going to continue to sit here and get our nuts dragged along for seemingly the next year. We've been hearing Dana White at all these. He gets asked every single press conference, Dana, any updates on Tom and Jon? It's coming. I promise you, it's coming. And then this fucking asshole goes out on Twitter and says, I don't know if I want to call it retired, but it's like we're getting two completely different stories between the UFC president and Jon Jones. And we don't really know which one to believe. Like when I see this, I say, okay, probably not going to see Jon Jones again. We've seen videos of him fucking around out in Thailand doing weird shit. He's probably enjoying his fair share of booger sugar out there. He seems like he's in a very similar state in his life, like Conor McGregor, right? We had Conor McGregor saying, "Oh, I'm going to come back and fight Michael Chandler. It's going to be the greatest comeback in sporting MMA history." And then it fell through. He hurt his fucking pinky toe, fight falls through, and then we haven't heard a peep since. We just keep seeing him post videos of women that aren't his wife, seemingly fucked up all the time at his in his other businesses, which is great. Like, do your own thing, but that's the thing, is now people understand that we're probably not going to see Connor again, and that's really all we need here. We need the same thing. We need someone, either Jon Jones or the UFC, to come out and say, "Okay, guys, it's not happening." Because that was the exact same situation we found ourselves in with McGregor. Everyone's going, "Okay, well, he's telling us he's coming back. He's getting drunk as shit at 2 a.m. and tweeting, 'My comeback's going to be great.'" And he did that for months and months and months. The UFC tried to keep him roped in, getting him to coach tough. And I just can't help but think that we are in a very similar situation right now with Johnny Bones. Just tell us. Just tell us. Nothing good is happening from the situation that we're in right now. All we want to know is, are you fucking fighting again? Enough of this cryptic bullshit that we've got right here. And just say it. No one's going to be fucking mad at you. We're going to be mad if you continue to yank our chains like this. Because we're going 6 months now without any inclination. His last fight was against Stipe in November of 2024. So we're going on 6, almost 7 months now of inactivity. He's fought 3 times in the last 5 years. And Dana White has the fucking balls to say that Jon Jones, up until recently when Islam was #1 pound for pound, Dana White would die on that hill. "Oh, don't speak bad on Jon Jones." Well, fucking, he's only fought 3 times. Why are we not stripping him? Why are we not stripping him, UFC? Give me a real answer as to why this hasn't been discussed truly. Because it's setting a dangerous precedent. Jon Jones is probably the biggest star in the UFC right now. I would say he probably is the biggest name, because he's been in the game for a long time, been a very dominant champ in 2 divisions. So no one's denying that. But if you're the champion, you should be forced to fight more than 2 times in the last 2.5 years. That's what it comes down to. We can't have champions that are inactive and then hold up the entire division just because they're enjoying life. Fuck you. Either go enjoy your life and retire, or fight. You can't do both. We've heard people like Chael Sonnen and DC, Dominic Cruz. Like, we've heard some of these old heads talk about when it's time to get out of the game. If you've got 1 foot out the door, you should leave. Because with fighting, you have to be all in. This is the type of shit, he's halfway out the door. He doesn't care. He's got enough money to where his kids and his kids' kids are never going to have to work. That's great. Happy for you. But again, like, he is setting a dangerous precedent, and the UFC is going along with it by not taking any action, by saying, "Yeah, it's okay if we have a champion just sit there and do fuck all for 2 years." No. They almost did the same thing with Islam, except they grew a fucking set and actually stripped Islam of his belt, since he's going up to 170 to fight JDM. But why are we letting this clown keep the division in a hold? Very frustrating. Very frustrating. But I made a video a couple weeks ago saying that I was still very confident that this fight was going to take place. But now not so confident. Not so confident. And the question becomes, is if this fight doesn't happen, what do you do in the heavyweight division? Right? Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gahn? Not really interested in this fight. That's the problem with this whole issue, this whole situation. No one wants to see any other fight in the heavyweight division. No one. other than Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones. And we've been blue balled for so long that any other fight that you make with Tom Aspinall isn't going to get it done for us. Because we know Tom Aspinall is, there's a reason that he's the interim number one contender, right? Is because he is really fucking good. We have not seen a prospect like this come through since Jon Jones, dominating everybody in his come up, right? And I think that's why a lot of people are so upset, is because we see the same thing in Tom Aspinall that a lot of people saw in Jon Jones when he was young. And so it doesn't really make sense for him to fight any of these guys. He's already beat most of these guys. Marcin Tybura, Sergey Spivak, Curtis Blades twice, Volkov, Sergey Pavlovich. Like, he's beat everyone. So what you're telling me, you're going to give us, you're going to blue ball us for fucking 2 years, and then you're going to give us Cyril Gane versus Tom Aspinall. We all know how that fight's going to go. Tom Aspinall moves way better than Jon Jones. And he's just going to walk through him. Like, Cyril Gane has decent movement for the heavyweight division, but his striking, and he's not fast. He's just not fast. He's kind of like a sloth, just fucking throwing his jabs out there. Where Tom Aspinall moves very quickly laterally. He's very fast twitch. It's like, no one wants to fucking see that. If I had to guess, a very similar outcome is going to happen as Jon Jones, Cyril Gane. I don't necessarily think like a submission, but a very quick finish, probably round 1, round 2. Like, it's going to be easy work, and no one wants to see that. We want to see the true heavyweight title fight. And as time just continues to tick by, I'm getting less and less confident of this fight being made. But there's no other fun fights to make in the top 5. That's the big problem here. And the UFC has got to put pressure on Jon Jones to either make a decision or to vacate the belt and move on. Because this is like some WWE shit. This is again the type of stuff that is making the UFC look bad. The UFC has not had a great 2025. They haven't. They have been making foolish matchups that don't make sense. They've been listening to social media, and they've just kind of deviated from the original like structure of how a fighter moved through the rankings. Like, you used to have to prove that you were ready for a title shot, and the UFC is just handing out, you know, big fights to people that don't necessarily deserve them. So I hope that the UFC does the correct thing here and really puts the pressure on Jon Jones. Who gives a fuck if you piss him off? People thought that the UFC was going to suffer after Conor McGregor retired, but we see that the UFC had some of its best years after Conor retired. And we don't need him. We don't need Jon Jones. Sure, we would love to see him, but we don't need him. There's enough people in the UFC to keep us fans coming back. We do not need to see Jon Jones, obviously, because he's only fought twice in the last 2.5, 3 years. So if it was Jon Jones that was keeping the viewers, it'd be another thing. But whether or not Jon Jones fights does not dictate whether the fans are going to keep coming back. We're going to keep coming back. So this situation, as it goes, is just getting more and more frustrating. I almost didn't even want to make this video because it's like, what? Just keep talking about bad news surrounding Jon Jones. Like, I would almost rather him be back blowing lines of coke and beating on his wife than doing this shit. Because then we would have like some tangible, oh yeah, he's kind of fucked up. No, he's just being a pussy. I'm living my life. Leave me alone. I'm in Thailand, fucking being weird. Very frustrating. Sucks too, because like, Jon Jones is one of the best fighters that's ever fought in the octagon, and he wasted his last couple years just fucking around, just fucking off. And that sounds super selfish because, like, obviously he's got a family and he's probably finally slowing down and working on himself, and that's great, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But again, either work on yourself and focus on your family or keep fighting. Don't have this one foot in, one foot out, teasing the fans 24/7, whether you're going to come back or not. So let me know what you think in the comments. You think Jon Jones is going to come back? Are we going to get this Aspinall Jon Jones fight, or are we going to see Tom Aspinall get matched up against one of these scrubs in the heavyweight division? But let me know your comments below. Appreciate you stopping by. Peace.